Hey Jonesy Babes, Anonymous Jonesy Babes, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to talk about Dre and his auntie interview that happened on Miss Parker channel. Okay, now if you want to go over there and listen to it in full, you may do so. I will have the link in my comment section for you to click on that link and go right on over there and hear all the in between that I didn't mention. Okay, all right, so let's get started. So Miss Parker and Dee was talking while they were waiting for his auntie to pop in, right? And it was just like little conversation and stuff like that. So Dre said he invited Mark D, and then Mark D invited Roxy and the other ladies from the podcast. Dre said everything popped off when Mark D got there, and his aunt was a whole different person. He said she was doing too much. Okay, now as for comparing Marquita's son and Jarvis, he said his auntie brought that up. He had a conversation with her earlier. She was in her feelings and running her mouth. I know it sounds kind of harsh, but if my nephew is talking to me about something, right? He tells me, listen, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to confide in you. Don't say anything. I'm not going to say anything. It doesn't matter how mad I get with the other person. If he asks me not to say anything, I'm not going to say anything. But we're going to keep going, okay? We're going to keep going. Dre wanted to talk to Mark D without the cameras. Dre said with everything going on and the people trying to attack, he was trying to keep the house safe. He wasn't getting the respect he felt he deserves. Okay. His aunt, no Mark D, she texts Mark D and he asked for Dre's number. He invited Mark D over and told him he wasn't trying to do any of the video stuff, but it was okay to do audio, like to record his voice. Dre didn't want his house in videos because, you know, he didn't have much furniture and he didn't want nobody seeing that on the videos. You get what I'm saying? And people do talk and say mean and nasty things. So he didn't want nobody talking about him or his household. And I definitely understand that. So the auntie pops in, right? She suggested Dre talk to Mark D since he was covering the case. She thought it was a good idea. Okay, he was the one covering it, you know, from top to bottom. So she was like, you know what, I know him. Let me reach out, talk to him, and you know, maybe you could talk to him as well. So, you know, auntie came through with the connection. Auntie said she knew Mark D was coming. She didn't know about the other people. And I feel like that was wrong of Mark D, because if DeAndre reached out to you and wanted to talk just to you, he didn't want to do no video stuff. He just wanted to talk to you. You should have said, okay, we can do it, or nah, I'll pass. You get what I'm saying? You don't invite other people and you don't tell other people, all right, come on, I'm going over there. And then you bring the heat is on your shoulder like a pocketbook. Okay? You was carrying that heat like it was a Michael Kors bag. And I just felt like that was unnecessary. But anyway, let's continue. The auntie says she never met the twins. Like on some official type stuff. You know what I'm saying? The twins never came out the room. Marquita's son kept coming in and out the room. And Marquita's son, you know, offered her a soda or something to drink. But that was it. You know, the auntie said they should have went to the shop instead of calling or texting Jarvis asking, have he seen Naziah? And you know what? That makes sense. That makes sense. Go to the shop, see what's popping, see what's going on. Auntie also said that she feel like Shannon and Jarvis had a conversation about Naziah. She feels like the twins talked about it as well. And they probably did. They probably had a discussion about it. Shannon and Marquita are going to always talk and confide in each other. They're not going to tell Dre everything. I don't think Marquita is going to tell Dre everything that her and Shannon talked about or what her and Annette talked about. I don't think so. You know? But I do feel like Shannon and Marquita had a conversation about it. And maybe Marquita said something to Shannon that she didn't rock with. You get what I'm saying? Because this didn't just affect Shannon kids. It also, you know, affected Marquita children as well. Because neither one of them have their children. The auntie doesn't have a relationship with Marquita. Okay, so when they was talking about the recording, right? Dre didn't like the fact that she was recording, you know, and she said, listen, she was recording. And she said everybody else was recording. But there wasn't supposed to be any type of recording going on because Dre said he didn't want any video. Okay? And what she tried to explain to Dre was, listen, Mark D came over there for something. So he's going to record, okay? He's a podcaster. He was going to record. And she was trying to get him to see that. Even I understand that, you know. But I think Dre didn't have an issue with him recording just audio, but he didn't want any video. That's what I'm getting. And I feel like Mark D didn't respect Dre's wishes about not recording. Dre said Mark had the heat on his shoulders like a pocketbook. He did. He did. He had that heat, baby, like it was a Michael Kors bag. Oh, gosh. All right, so the auntie says she's passionate about the case and the kids because she has a 13-year-old, and I understand that. I really do. I have children. I have grandchildren. And it always bothers me when I hear about kids going missing or something horrifying happened to children. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, what if that was one of mine? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just sad. It's just sad. But you know what? While Auntie was on the interview with Dre and Miss Parker, she was dropping some stuff. She was dropping some gems, okay? She was dropping some realness about Nazaria family fighting each other. Instead of fighting each other, they need to come together, you know, and hire a private investigator and get the answers they need. So she was dropping some gems. She sounded like one of them old school people, you know, they don't take no mess. That's what she sounded like to me. Dre and his auntie got into it while they was on the interview. And I didn't like that because I understand Dre was getting upset with his auntie, right? Because she was saying stuff. And he confided in her about something. And he's mad that she repeated it. And I understand that. But, you know, don't get into a disagreement with your auntie on a live stream. Do that behind the scenes. Talk to your auntie on the telephone behind the scenes. Say, hey, auntie, you know what? Listen, when I told you so and so and so, that was for you to keep it to yourself because Dre said he told her not to say nothing, don't repeat anything. But the auntie was like, you did not tell me that. So I think it was just a misunderstanding. And he was getting heated. He was getting heated. But eventually he brought it down a notch. But you can still tell it was bothering him. But you know what? All I'm going to say is this. Marquita and Shannon, the Harris family, they have each other. Dre, your auntie got your back. Okay? You may not agree with what she did or what she said, but that lady is going to stand 10 toes down for you. She got your back. So just remember that. You know, and the next time you feel like you need to have a discussion with her or a disagreement, do it off the live stream. Don't do that in front of everybody. Because I ain't like that at all. I was like, okay, that's his auntie, true, but do that off the live stream. But you know, it was a lot going on in that house that night. But auntie had Dre back. And he better recognize. Now, the auntie said some interesting things. She said that she spoke to Debo, right? That's Marquita's daughter, father, right? And he said that he has Marquita's son and their daughter. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Shannon doesn't have her children. Marquita and Debo met at the hospital because of the daughter. I think something was wrong. I didn't really catch it. And he said while they was there, she was more concerned about a friend she hadn't seen in years than to talk to her daughter. But see, I don't know why her daughter went to the hospital. The auntie said Debo was out of work, right? And she wanted to do something nice for his daughter, you know, because it was her birthday and everything. And she just wanted to do something nice. And I thought that was sweet of her because she didn't have to do that at all. Dito, you know, was security for Detroit rappers. And, you know, he got hit up. And if you know what I mean by hit up, right? And I'm glad that he's still here. I'm glad that he's recovering. You know, he recovered well. But he was out of work because of that, you know. Marquita wasn't working, so she wanted to do something nice. And I rock with that. Okay, I rock with that. And she said she feels for all the kids. And you know what? I do too. I feel for all those children. Shannon's 5 and Marquita's 2 children, because they are going through something. They are traumatized. All of them are traumatized. I even feel sorry for Vari because he's out there wandering this world without any guidance. I haven't heard anything about Vari. I hope he's okay. I hope he's doing well because he has a child. You know, I guess he's trying to get it the best way he can to support his baby. It's just sad, man. It's just sad. She also said that Debo said his daughter was waking up in the middle of the night, you know, crying and is having bad dreams. And the only thing I can say is when she gets like that, you just got to be there for her. Just hold her and let her know that everything is going to be okay. You know, everything is going to be okay. Eventually for her, it will be okay. But, oh man. When you think about the kids, right? And everything that was said. When you think about Messiah and everything that was said, and you think about the person he did this to before when he got locked up, it makes you feel some type of way. Because why was he even out? Why was he out? He should have still been in there. And if Jarvis was still in jail, okay, because I feel like 10 years is too short. 10 years is too short. Messiah will still be with us. I think about her all the time. I think about those children, you know, and it's just sad. But you know what? I was thinking if there was a way that I could find out who's putting money on his books. Now, I know some states don't allow that type of information, okay? I know some states don't, and I know some do. But I don't know about Detroit, you know, in Wayne County, if they allow that. If I did like a FOIA or something. Because I want to know who's supporting him. Somebody is still supporting Jarvis. And I want to know who it is. Somebody is still supporting him. Somebody is putting money on his books. Somebody is visiting him. And I wonder who it is. I wonder who it is. And if it's any of his baby mamas, they are a fool. Because that means you support his behavior. Because after that preliminary hearing came out, and all that information came out, which we're gonna find out more at the trial. You know what he did. You heard the text messages that he was sending to Desire. And if you still put money on that man's books and you still go visit him, you're horrible, just like he is. And you approve what he has done. That's just how I feel about it. That's how I feel. There's no way in the heck I'm going to deal with somebody like that. And as far as Shannon, if I'm concerned, talking about if society gave him a second chance, why can't you? Well, look what happened. Look what happened. You gave him a second chance and Desire's not here. How do you feel? She probably doesn't feel any type of way. Or she might feel guilty, but we would never know it. Every time she closes her eyes, I hope Desire visit her. I really do. You giving him a second chance. Society was wrong for letting him out. He should have been in there for 30 years. Or life. I hope he gets life after this trial. Jarvis doesn't belong out here in the streets because all he's going to do is find another victim. He's going to find another victim. That's all he's going to do. He didn't learn from the first time he was locked up. He come out and he did it all over again. But he got access. You know, Shannon, when she gave him that chance, she gave him access to Desire, to her niece, and to the rest of the children. She made it easy for him. There was no way in the heck those girls should have been allowed to go to that shop. Why are little girls at the shop? Why are little girls cleaning up the shop? That's something little boys should be doing. You should be showing little boys how to clean the shop, how to change the tire. All of that stuff. Stock the shelves. Not little girls. But anyway, that's all I want to talk about for right now. The interview was pretty good. I want you guys to go ahead and check it out. I'm gonna leave the I'm gonna leave the link in the comment section, and it's gonna be pinned. So all you gotta do is click on it, and it'll take you straight there. And let me know your thoughts about the interview. Let me know your thoughts about Dre and his auntie, and I'll talk to you guys later.